Alright, and welcome back to episode 12 of the F1 2010 career mode. I really want to apologize for the late break because it's been quite a while since the last episode, so apologies for that. I hope you're still doing well, but we're back for round 12 of the season here for the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring in the outskirts of Budapest. So yeah, we're finally back with this F1 2010 Career Mode Championship with Toro Rosso. And as always, in practice, trying to find a setup which is going to give us a competitive car for this weekend and hopefully a stable one as well. You can see I adjusted the wings a little bit there to 11.1 actually, which seems very unstable to be honest. This is quite a while ago. I have no idea what I was doing. Apparently I copied a setup from Victor Anderson. But 11.1 wings, I mean that's certainly going to give us the right amount of turn-in. But it's going to make it a bit unstable in the rear end. But we're going to just build it up here in practice down to a 124.2, currently in the top 5. Which we now improved by 0.2 to a 24.0. Sebastian Vettel currently with the quickest time. I lose on the exit there and lose my front wing. That's what I meant. I mean, what can you expect really with 11.1 wings? Nice styleful 360 there into the wall. I had to... oh yeah, I was doing an R&D test for this lap. But the lap time which I had to beat was a 1:35.0 as the target time. So I still actually the 1:24 without a front wing. So I was still able to easily beat that target time, which passed the R&D test.
That's the end of the session. A decent 6th place.
So we end up in 6th place in practice, which is pretty alright. But I did actually adjust the wings because it felt so unstable. I lowered the front wing a bit and I upped the rear wing angle to 3. So we're running with 93 wings now, which is probably going to be a little bit better. It's going to slow us down a little bit in the corners, but it's just going to make it more stable. So, qualifying now. My first lap was 1:25, improved it to a 1:24, which is currently good enough for P9, and now we improve it down to a 1:22. And that's actually good enough for 2nd place between the two Red Bulls of Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber. So, yeah, that's already a lot better here on the option tire as well now, of course. Pushing on for a 4th lap in the session. I lose it, come out of the final corner. We turn it into a nice 360. But that's not going to help the lap time, so I wasn't able to improve on this 4th attempt. As Jensen Button flies past us. Flies past us in that Vodafone McLaren. At the end of the session here, trying to go again. I lose it almost into the wall. Actually, I kept out of the one. I didn't even lose that much time, but I definitely lost a couple tenths. But I still improved my lap to a 121.8. And that's actually good enough for pole position, amazingly. So that just shows how much time I still had in the bag, really. And I'm going to push on for this 6th lap, because after that mistake, we know that we can definitely gain a couple tenths if I, don't make a mistake coming out of turn 5 there. So into this, well, almost 90-degree 4th corner. It's very, it's a very long corner, so it doesn't really count to 90 degrees, I guess. But it is pretty flowing as we now come out of the final corner. Up towards the line, we do actually improve the lap, 121.6, it's good enough for pole. So that's yet another pole position this season, and let's hope we can convert it into a good result in the race.
Some drivers seem to struggle during qualifying, but then put on a really good showing during the race. Are you happy with your qualifying performance this season?
Definitely. I mean, I've already lost count on how many poles we've actually got this season.
We've had confirmation today that you've re-signed for Toro Rosso for next season. That must be a weight off your mind to know where you're going to be driving next year.
Yeah, it is definitely nice to have that confirmation and to be secured for next season. We've done some nice things here with Toro Rosso. I mean, like I said, we're strong in qualifying. The pace is there. We've had a couple podiums and even a victory, of course, in Canada. So, but also with the development of the car, we have been doing quite a bit of R&D testing. So, yeah, I think there's definitely potential with this team. My agent advised me to re-sign as well. They gave me a good offer, so it was a no-brainer, really.
Well, we're now past past the halfway point of what has been a great season so far. And I was wondering, of all the drivers on the grid, who do you see as your main rival?
Yeah, that's very interesting. We are going to pick a rival now. Now, usually, I think picking a rival and performing better than him often helps with the contract talks. But of course, I've already re-signed with Toro Rosso for next season, so in that regard, it probably doesn't really matter. But Sebastian Vettel and Alonso or Jenson Button. I guess Jenson is the closest to us in the championship, currently in 5th place. So I think that's probably the most realistic driver that we can possibly beat in the championship this season. So let's go with the McLaren driver here, the 2009 world champion. Of course, the reigning champion, actually, Jenson Button. Starting from pole position, Jenson Button, who is now our rival in P8, and Sebastian Buemi in P22.
Okay, you're doing really well so far. Try to keep up this level of performance for the rest of the season.
We will certainly try to do so. Lights are on and we're away for 14 laps here at the Hungaroring. Off to a pretty good start. The engine up into fast. Can we maintain the lead into turn 1? We've got Sebastian Vettel on our right, attacking us here into turn 1. And we do actually clear him before turning in, so we maintain the lead with the 2 Red Bulls behind us. Sebastian Vettel and, oh, actually, never mind, Vettel's actually still alongside me. Didn't even see him. We go straight back up the inside. We go over the cross over there, turning in a bit too early. Vettel tries to get out on the outside. We actually bump wheels there. Vettel's got the inside line. We're still side by side as we go up towards turn 5. It is very quick left-hander. Can we keep here on the inside? We force Vettel wide. He hits us at the other Vettel with Mark Webber. Fires his way through and makes contact with both of us. And Vettel drops back down into P3. So it's now Mark Webber leading the way. That was a very hectic opening lap there. So we now skip to the start of the final sector, breaking very later into turn 11, and we smash into the back of Mark Webber, and that actually gives us a drive-through penalty. The stewards thought it was at fault for that collision and deemed it as unsportsmanlike behavior, but Mark Webber didn't even crash out, so that was a very, very harsh penalty from the game to actually give me a drive-through penalty for that lap. We both didn't get any damage, I don't believe, so that has really messed up our race, and that's gonna compromise us a lot, of course, because that is gonna cost us like 15 or maybe even 20 seconds. So that is definitely a great shame here as we try to stick with Mark Webber here leading the way. I'm probably gonna just try and let myself get dragged along by Mark Webber to just postpone taking the drive-through until later on. We've got 3 laps to serve it as Mark Webber goes a little bit defensive there. Bit of a tight line. We go at the outside and then turns to the inside here for turn 6. We take the lead here on lap 2 as we go into turn 7 and 8 here in the chicane. I did try to stay out there, getting very close to the wall there on the inside of the final corner, turn 14 on the track. Of course, you always go so close to that wall because you just want to keep the line as tight as possible. 1:22.3 now as we open lap 3. And we've got the 2 Red Bulls still pretty close behind us. We have got a bit of a gap to Michael Schumacher in 4th place. So let's just try and push as much as possible to rejoin as far ahead as possible. Hopefully we're not going to be in too much traffic. We are going to take the drive-through now here on lap 3. Because also if I postpone it for one more lap, maybe I would have had to also then do the pit stop 1 lap later, and the tires were already wearing out pretty quickly. So we are coming in for a drive. A couple of teams are already going out of the box there to serve the cars for a pit stop. But let's see where we're going to drop back. We are still inside the position, but now we're not. We are actually down into P11. So whoever takes lead, we're into P11 behind Rubens Barrichello. But most drivers haven't made a stop yet, so I think we still have a pretty good shot at scoring some points here today, despite that drive-through penalty. So let's try not to get held up too much here behind the Williams of the Brazilian Barrichello there. He takes a bit of a weird line, runs a bit wide there, it seems like, on the exit of turn 4. We tried to go up the inside there, but we're too far back. Yeah, Barrichello closes the door on us. but it's going to be crucial to get past. Barrichello here has quickly as possible, a bit of a twitch on the exit of turn 6.
Doesn't block you when you attempt it.
And let's indeed watch that the Barrichello doesn't block us when we attempt an overtake, like Mark Webber did, of course, on the opening lap, which resulted in a penalty, which was, still my fault. But yeah, it seems like the stewards are pretty strict today when it comes to drivers running into the back of others. But coming into turn 11 once again, trying to go to the outside, because Barrichello actually defends the inside, but he is just placing his car exactly in the right spot. We are fast, but we just can't seem to find a way through. We can now up the inside to the penultimate corner, and that's us up into P10 as we go through turn 14 and we smash into the inside wall, and that is us out of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Oh man, we were already getting very close to that wall, 1 lap to go, but this time I just tried to bite off a bit more than what I could chew there. Just getting the line a little bit too tight. And we paid the ultimate price for it, as it ripped off our right front tire. Even Barrichello almost went underneath our car there. It's such an easy mistake to make. Look at the impact there. Look at that shot getting almost mounted by the Williams for Barrichello. It's a pretty violent impact. Look at that. At least it's a spectacular crash, but it's a shame that we are gonna miss out on scoring points today. It was a 45 G impact, 80% damage, and that is us out of the race.
Mate. I can't believe we're out. Park up, engine to off.
Is that our first DNF of the season? I think it might be, actually. So yeah, this is a bit of a shame. We're still in 6th place in the Drivers' Championship with 78 points. Behind our rival Jenson Button. But yeah, such an easy mistake to make, isn't it? Especially using the pad. You just don't really have the precision to get the turn exactly right. And unfortunately, it's a nil point.
How do you think your performance this weekend has measured up to the expectations of your team?
Well, I mean, the expectations were probably lived up to in qualifying, but certainly not in the race, of course, with the DNF. So I think the team are happy where we are in terms of pace, but certainly not in terms of the result today.
Overall, how do you think you've raced so far this season? Are you happy with your performance?
I'm relatively happy with it, to be honest, but it just seems like we lose out on so many points during the races because I just keep making mistakes.
So Toro Rosso have finally announced their driver lineup for next season. I assume you're happy that they've chosen to retain you.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, apart from the DNF today, we have scored quite a few points this season. We are in P6, which is pretty alright considering we are with the Toro Rosso team. We have showed improvement as well over the course of this season. And it's always nice to have, that security, to be secure about the seat for next season, to not have to worry about that. And it seems like we're working well together. So, yeah, I'm happy to re-sign with Scuderia Toro Rosso. So there we have it.
Hey Nick, you're getting close to completing your contract objectives. Keep up the good work.
Oh, despite the DNF, we are still getting close to meeting the objectives. I actually lied a little bit there to the press because, in complete honesty, I am actually not very happy to resign with Toro Rosso. It was actually a mistake because I didn't read the terms and conditions when I signed the contract. So I am accidentally on a 2-year deal here, and it wasn't actually my intention because, at the start of the season I definitely made it clear that I want to move to a better team. Because I don't think we can actually fight for the championship if we stay with Toro Rosso. But it seems like I put myself into a bit of a predicament here by accidentally re-signing for a 2nd season. But of course, I'm not going to tell the press that because it's not going to probably do my reputation any good. Anyway, thank you for watching. Again, it's been a while, but I'll promise you that we will get to the end of the season. And yeah, it wasn't the result we're looking for today. Hopefully we can have a good race again. Next up, in Spa, which is one of my favorite tracks. So thanks for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, and see you next time. Goodbye.